Hello, I'm Stephen Schrader. I'm a Libertarian presidential candidate. The reason I am now, have always been, and always will be a Libertarian, is how much I despise excessive government power. Now, for example, it will always eventually be abused. Now, I could go in to list, of telling what the Nazis did and all that. No, I'll stick with all American abuses of power. From 1932 to 1972, the U.S. government conducted the Tuskegee study, head out at Tuskegee University, hence the name. In it, our U.S. government doctors injected poor black men with syphilis and then refused them treatment. They wanted to study how the disease progressed as it ravaged their minds and bodies, and also how it spread through the poor black community. After all, they did this violation of their Hippocratic oath, which starts out with first, do no harm, because they were doing this for science. They had a good reason. And by the way, this took place from 1932 to 72, which means it ran through the Roosevelt administration, Truman administration, Eisenhower's, Kennedy's, Johnson's, and into Nixon's administration, meaning that both major powers allowed this to continue, or not powers, parties allowed this to continue. And it's been confirmed that the U.S. government, U.S. military, and the CIA have conducted germ warfare tests by spraying above major cities germs of a particular type that was bad enough to make people want to go to the doctor, but not enough to kill. That was the idea. However, what happens if you had a compromised immunity system, such as you were on chemo for your cancer, or you had AIDS? People with that, it was a ticket to permanent mutilation and death. And by the way, one of those cities that they sprayed it over in the 1980s was San Francisco, ground zero for the AIDS epidemic. And if you think that the government isn't continuing to do this sort of skullduggery, when it was announced after 9/11 that we were going to get us the FISA court, a secret court, I like to went berserk, because secret courts always degenerate into star chamber justice, where the accused isn't allowed to face their accusers, and they aren't allowed to even know what's being charged with. Heck, they don't even know they've been charged. Now, we were told this wasn't happening. It wasn't going to happen. No. But in 2016, we found out that the FISA court was just rubber stamping any piece of paper that the FBI put in front of them. In other words, it degenerated in star chamber justice. Now, people say, well, they don't do that anymore. Okay, what I say is, we won the Civil War, 2 World Wars, and the Cold War without this legal atrocity. Why do we need it? Because even if they're not doing it now, it will always degenerate into star chamber justice. As president, one of the things I'm going to do is push before Congress the fact that every government agency needs a full audit of their books to ensure that this sort of finagling isn't going on. Now, if you like this video, you can either go to my campaign website, Schrader, SCHRADER, for president, all one word, the number 2020.com, or go to YouTube and type in Schrader campaign. You may have to scroll down some, but they're all there. Goodbye.
Good.